All right, here we go.
I really have to pee.
Go pee.
Based stick.
I'm still stuck in big boy mode. Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Plumes of Hazard. I am your illustrious, affable host, the Angstful Vapor. Here to my left tonight is Mass Blast 09, and right down over meow is the lovely Fubaka.
Welcome.
This is Langeva, everyone.
Welcome.
Oh shit! I'm like an hour ahead of you. I'm sorry. This is the only alcoholic beverage I have tonight, and I already drank it. I do, however, have some tasty seltzer in the fridge that I'm gonna go get here shortly.
So thank you, William, for pointing that out. I actually, a couple of hours ago, specifically Googled how the hell to turn off that protected censored chat thing that it basically pushed me to enable a couple of weeks ago. And I specifically disabled it. I said, allow all comments.
It's like, yo, this guy wants to say titty.
You can't say that. You can't say that on the internet.
Are you okay with him saying butthole? That's my summation of.
Please stop. Stop. Please stop. Stop. Mute him. Stop. Please stop. I'm going to need you to fill out my survey right now, please. We need to have your voice heard. Okay. Anyways, continue.
So that's my.
Oh wait, sorry. Hey, this is your other friend. Can you fill this out, please?
Wow.
This is to destroy cigarettes. Thanks.
I didn't know Sean was about petitions.
Oh hey, so yeah, can you go ahead and please do this? Thanks. It'll just take a minute of your time. Just in case you didn't hear. All right.
What the? Oh.
Things are about to get icy in here if you catch me.
Mm-hmm.
Are you threatening me with ice? We have a petition for that too. Motherfuckers, quit fucking filling out petitions.
But they do so much good, Mass. They make your voice heard. Oh no.
You know, Tim, in our day, we could have gotten 329 signatures.
329? Yeah, in our heyday.
In our heyday. Now we're in the heyday.
We could have had several more than that. So, Fu, what happened to the White Claw?
So
she drank them all.
So that was the thing. So it all started off as I couldn't get any near me. They were out when I went to Target when I was doing like my very large one-day grocery run. I do the Target, I do the Costco, I do like the small grocery store, whatever. So I ended up buying a case of like this stuff. I bought like a 6-pack of this from Trader Joe's, and I had that. And then I had a barbecue with my brother in the park, and he just had extra beer that wasn't going to fit in his fridge. So I'm like, I'll take it. And that was like 6 beers.
Yeah.
And I had some Guinness along the way. I bought some Guinness as well. I made an excuse to walk 0.7 miles out of the way to go to Trader Joe's because that's the only place a man can get a 4-pack around. So I've just been drinking other shit. Like I've gone back to my Guinness, or the Montauk Summer Ale is nice while I can still drink it. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's also just a great warm weather drink. Like, we're starting to shift. I'll still drink it, probably not as frequently.
You know what's a great warm weather drink? Fucking water.
I was gonna say gin and tonic, but yeah, water too, I suppose.
Water's cool. Water sucks. I mean, Gatorade's better.
I don't know.
It
I mean,
depends.
to each their
Waterboy
own.
reference, dog. Come on.
Man, I saw way too many kids back in the football days barfing up fucking orange Gatorade. I don't do it.
You're supposed to cut it, man.
This was the freaking cheapest person mixing the Gatorade, so it was definitely cut. And still, I don't know.
It worked wonders for me when you cut it.
Yeah.
I learned about that playing baseball, and then I also learned about the joys of pickle juice.
I've had some of these, and it's actually I do probably a quarter with water, so I mix a quarter of this in a cup of water. Man, it gives a little bit of flavor, not too shabby.
This is better than that IMO. This is what I drank last night. This is still on
triple X.
Oh, my Bach.
What I think Jay posted something today about there being a shortage nationally of alcoholic seltzer water.
Rob, if I had a White Claw discount code, holy shit! You don't think I'd be posting pictures of my ass with a coupon code photoshopped on it to bring in some dollars?
You know where there's White Claw is?
Would be like one big White Claw.
You know where there's White Claw? Down here. There's plenty. I can ship you fucking packs and packs. So let me know.
Is that where all of the one that's supposed to be at my 7-Elevens at? It went to Florida instead.
I think all of the what? Oh wait, hang on. We have a petition to kick Understudy off, and we succeeded a few years ago. So please, Understudy, come sign the petition.
I will sign your petition.
Okay, thanks.
I was bored.
Welcome.
And I figured there was a lot of shit going on today.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So about that, would you please sign my petition? This petition is for having White Claw shipped to New York.
Petitions always do a lot of good.
Okay, so just make sure you sign that.
I will do that.
Also, there is all right, that's just enough for the petitions because it's making me go bananas.
I have a petition to stop all petitions.
Just remember me.
If only petitions work, then that one might.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So we haven't said hello to people. Sorry. Let's do it real quick. I saw Mr. Johan in there bright and early. What's up, Rob? Austin, Yankee, Tim, Robbles, Austin, Jason, Joel. Yes, I am still feeling a little funky. Sorry about that. Festy, Addy Tooney, of course, our own Billiam Calderon.
What a petition to make a Plumes of Hazard movie.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody
Vic's
would
up in
want to see
here. Did I miss anybody? I hope I didn't miss anybody. Brando. I don't think I said Brando yet.
Wouldn't you know? Hofbräu had a brother in the fridge that was hiding from me.
Oh, hello. Surprise beer, the best kind of beer.
Because all the beer wouldn't fit on like the front shelf, so I had to put like half of them in the door. So this is like in between salsa and butter. You know what I mean?
So I just asked Chuff about did Apple really go back to A10 processors in the iPads and the iPad minis from the A12, or was that a joke?
What?
Oh.
Yeah. So in their release yesterday or today or whenever the hell it was, they are actually using. I heard from somebody that they're using A10 processors instead of the A12. Yeah. So I haven't had time to look it up, so I just asked to see if you knew.
Apple iPhone.
Not the iPhone. I think it's the iPads and the iPad minis and all that.
Oh, yeah, it's possible.
iPhone's got its own processor, right?
Yeah,
and why would they go backwards?
I don't think the minis went backwards because the mini wasn't refreshed for like 4 years until last year, and it just got 2 years ago, and then it finally got a refresh. So it probably does still have the A10. That would be my guess. I don't know about the newer ones though. I did hear that the budget, lower expensive regular iPad, I think it got a larger screen and something else. It definitely changed a little bit, but I don't know what the processor was, and they may have stuck the old A10 there. That's possible.
So they are doing an A10, but it's their entry level.
Yes.
So it's like the cheap one.
Yeah. So yeah. So I just pulled it up. So the iPad Mini, the Air, and the Pro all have A12s, but the iPad base model does have an A10.
And it's going to be $329.
Yeah, which is pretty badass, really. That's not a bad price for a decent tablet.
No, I mean the A10 will run fine especially at that price point.
For sure. And I've actually been thinking about picking up a new Mini. The refreshed Mini is possible.
I've had a Pro for however long.
I feel like the backs of the phones are just going to be a bunch of cameras in a few years.
Just like this coating the whole back.
Just like fuck you. I'm gonna keep adding more cameras and more cameras and more cameras. I'll tell you what. So when I had that motherboard I showed on the show last week, I had the 2 cameras out of the 10 out, and dude, those things are insane. Like on the other side, I was able to see them up close, and the wire's so thin, and they just sit there and float for the focus.
Yeah,
it's pretty neat.
Pretty cool.
So, to Rob, we agreed a long time ago that if Poe ever went away, the recipes would come out. If you could no longer buy it, you could. Pretty sure we all still stand by that statement.
Yeah. So
let's.
If the Fed shuts us down,
actually,
that's right. Fill out one of those.
Fill out one of these. Maybe you'll get it.
Yeah. Sure. Goonies never say die. Okay. Sign the petition.
Right.
But when the Fed shut us down, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, this THC shit's got everybody in a man.
What's that?
This THC shit's got everybody in a fucking scare.
Yeah, well, it should. So, I mean, obviously, that's the news on the street. Mass has been
every
joking
headline
about it.
says vaping,
Yeah,
and does not specify.
right.
Literally, I was at work. I got back in Monday afternoon. I stopped by the office. I was outside, and my boss walks by, and he comes outside. He goes, "Didn't you see the news about that stuff?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Vaping. Oil bond with shit in your lungs make you really sick."
You're like, yeah, we've known that for decades.
I read it. It's every single test that they ran was based on THC. He goes, "No, I'm pretty sure it wasn't." I said, "I'm telling you it was."
Yeah. Yep.
Same thing. So your boss and my dad's the same way. He's like, "Hey, did you hear about this thing?" I'm like, yeah, we've been following it for a while. These dumbass kids with illegal THC cartridges with oil in them. Yeah, they're getting sick because they're stupid vaping illegal THC cartridges.
I do believe that we said a long time ago that vaping THC or weed and being lumped in with nicotine vaping was going to be the death of us.
Yeah, we totally did.
Not that I'm opposed to the concept of vaping, but I do believe we made the call that that was going to be the death of us.
But here's the thing, okay? Time out, okay? Because I have known people that have been using a vaporizer, not a vape, for years. We're talking like 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
Filling up the fucking plastic bag and hitting it, okay? And that is turning that wax into vapor, and they are perfectly fine, okay? So it's like, what the fuck were these guys doing? It was like the Dr. Crimmy's lab of
that's exactly the problem. It was Dr. Crimmy's style problem, right? This crap was being made in dude's basement or China or whatever it was, full of, what was it, vitamin B oil or something? I don't even remember what it was now.
Vitamin E or some shit. That's how they were.
Two things. One's getting reported, the other isn't. Because my brother lives out in Vegas now, so he has a beat on news that we may not. At least locally and through the dispensaries he goes to. So it's a problem of bootleg cartridges.
Yeah.
And also the other issue are legit cartridges because different states, legal states, everyone has different standards for shit, mainly dealing with pesticides and all of that.
Right.
So basically, it's an issue of I forget which state it is that has more lenient doesn't have as stringent standards on cartridges and such, right? So, but yeah, vitamin E itself is bad because, and I think we may have touched on this back when like people were talking about essential oils or some shit.
Yeah,
When
right.
When you vape lipids, they fuck your shit up really fast.
Right.
But yeah, also vaping concentrated pesticides also fucks your shit up really fast.
For some reason, oddly enough, vaping concentrated pesticides is bad for you. Please don't do it. Oh man.
But yeah, but my brother got wind of that, at least like for fake cartridges that were going around our area in New York a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And he would get cartridges from his friends and so forth. So I think like basically most people I know just stopped doing it because at that point, once the pool is tainted, like smart people just go back to flour, go back to the shit
Right.
Unfortunately.
Well, remember all those people that were dying and were getting really sick because the people pulling, basically pulling the oils out of the leaf were using butane, and the butane was staying in the wax, and they weren't vacuuming it out and all that other stuff. So. Do it.
But yeah, basically, we're gonna find ourselves in a situation where I'm gonna be like Matthew McConaughey doing a fucking Dallas Buyers Club for
It's
Jews.
not very well ventilated down there.
Except I don't have AIDS.
So, sorry, I just had to run the Zoolander the black lung clip. My bad. Sorry. I'm back.
Yeah, Duro, we're talking about states where they don't have weed stores, and then the problem is also states that do have weed stores because of standards on cartridges.
Snort a condom, eat a pod, you can't stop stupid. Yeah, that's right. Or
also, what's up, Duro?
What
Cheers.
up? And horror too. I don't think I said it. I think he must have jumped in afterwards. And Tomas. So, yeah, that's I did pull together a few links I think that are relatively interesting, which I will pull up right now. So the thing that alerted me to this happenings was initially this. I'm gonna come back to you guys for just a minute, and I need to add my mic. One sec.
welcome. Welcome.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
The
All
last
right.
few
So
days have been-
this is the thing that popped up on my phone earlier today, and I was like, okay, I just happened to see vaping, on my phone, and this is what we're talking about. Is Trump calls on FDA to ban all flavored vapes after mystery lung illness. Not a good day for Juul, which is true. So this goober right here, this guy with this hair and the finger pointing. Anyway, he's got an opinion about it, and we all know that Trump's got opinion on things. So the other thing that I would like to talk about is not long afterwards, I got an email from the VTA, basically responding to the Trump administration. So I'll leave this up on the screen for a moment. But the other two things that I have here for links wise, which I thought was pretty interesting, and the VTA does a pretty good job of basically saying what's going on, hopefully educating some people, talking about the Royal College of Physicians and all that sort of stuff, but also, talking about why these kids are getting sick. It was from there is no indication that industry standard nicotine containing vapor plugs are to blame. The problem is cannabis or THC products were likely the cause, which is true. But we all remember old Scott Gottlieb. He had a couple of tweets. Well, he had a bit of a Twitter storm today, really, to be honest. But I did pull a couple of them that I thought were relatively relevant. And this basically says, let's see, so the regulations will help address this, blah, 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 blah. But he does mention here, many acute lung injuries are likely the result of illegal vapes, not legal e-cigs, and must be directly addressed, which is true. And then the other thing that I thought was interesting that he tweeted later is this. So the continued youth use made this inevitable. And the manufacturers, especially Juul, and he specifically calls out Juul, have to consider their own actions enforcing this measure. And then this part I thought was really interesting. Another action could be to remove cartridge-based products like Juul and leave open tank systems and e-liquids available to adults. Which is
Crazy.
It's duh, right? I mean, that is absolutely a duh. That's what we've been saying this whole time. We have already got laws across the country that say you cannot buy this if you're not 18, just like we have on cigarettes, right?
I mean, so do the pots.
Huh?
So do the pots.
Exactly. That's what I mean. But we've already got laws. I mean, the same argument can be made with so many things. I am not a big government person, so my thing is let's enforce the existing rules that we've already got and do a better job of enforcing those, not making additional draconian stupid rules on top of that aren't going to help anybody.
I agree.
It's
as a side note, I have a bit of a surprise for everybody.
Oh, did you buy Juul?
No, I was actually kind of hoping that this was going to line up as a surprise for tonight, but it didn't.
Oh.
It will be within the next 2 weeks. To set the record straight, so you're not just listening to us four douchebags' opinion, but then the next 2 weeks, Alex Clark has agreed to come on and chat about all the things that are going on and what we, the vapors, can do.
Is it filling out petitions?
I hope not.
Master, you got that picture for us?
I do. So, just in case, can we do a petition for Alex Clark?
Yeah. He's going to be in DC next week.
Dude.
I don't know if he can do it.
Why didn't we hit him up on short notice to see if he can come on tonight? Fuck.
Yeah. No, I the only reason I didn't was because of what's going on. I thought that would be a little rough.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, if there's anyone that I would love to commiserate with from the industry right now, it's him.
For sure. So we definitely need to have him on in the next couple of weeks for sure. I'm glad you already talked to him.
With him. It might not be next week because he's going to be in DC on the Hill and at the VTA conference. However, it might be, so it'll either be next week or the week after, depending.
Or just because I'm Texan doesn't mean I'm always talking about guns. I was totally talking about guns. You know what? We probably should give a wrench to Addy. To be perfectly honest, Addy Tooney has been here and badass for basically ever.
That's very true. He has.
Oh man, I'll look into it. So that's the thing is,
long enough. He's been around long enough to like every one of my Instagram posts.
That's probably true.
No, straight up.
Addy Tooney's a freaking legend. He's a legend in this industry.
You see the new pack for my new host system?
What is that?
I'm making probably wear one of these.
Yeah, please don't give that to Ahmed and send him through an airport. That'd be a terrible idea.
Mast, I could bring you to Friday prayer and you would blend right in. Okay, so shut the fuck up.
I know. Now I can.
Hey, fit right in, baby.
Fit right in. It's from my.
It's
from the vacuum.
Oh, it's from the vacuum.
I told Chuff the same thing when he was radicalized.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, "What? 4200 mAh, 61 watt hours? What the pizza shit?" And then it's like, "Oh, it's almost 15 volts." I'm like, "That makes sense now." I was like, "What the?"
Making a battery pack for something specific?
No, this is the battery pack from the robot vacuum that I got. It finally, after close to 3 years, it did.
Is it dead?
So,
okay,
it's not dead. It's not dead. It still works. It just has to go back and recharge quite often. And I think memory-wise, it's limited to, because it scans the whole room to detect changes. So memory-wise, before it used to do the whole house in almost one battery charge, and then it went to 2 battery charges.
Yeah.
Well, now it's on 3 battery charges, and I don't think it has enough memory to remember where it was at. anymore. You know, it's running out of
He's
memory.
got Alzheimer's
Well,
It's
now?
got Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's getting old.
Hey,
So-
man, it happens.
But
So usually,
yeah.
what happens with that? At least I remember this happening with my old drill, my battery powered one. My shit would always have to be charged constantly. You know why? 'Cause 2 cells in the bank died. Were just bad.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, it's possible that this did something like that too. But
You see what V-Dog just said in chat? Attitude, he's older than lots of trees, but younger than most rocks. So
That is fucking hilarious.
one of my oldest friends, his dad he's hysterical. He's one of those kind of guys that drops lines like that all the time. And one of my very favorite things that he used to say is back in my day, back in my day, sand was this big. Is what he used to say. Which, I mean, the first time he said that, I about fell out of my chair laughing because it's just hilarious. It's freaking funny. It's a funny guy. I like that. Oh man. So that's interesting, Master. Are you going to be able to? Are those 650s? Are they 18 650s?
yeah,
It looks like it.
yeah. I was trying to read. You know, some part number. They look like HE2s, but I don't know.
I have no idea how to say that guy's name. JP Solari La Vape de Traverse. Yeah, La Vape
You
de
are
Traverse.
18650.
Well, DIY
Let's
Surviving
see.
USA, absolutely, dude. That's the thing. It's yeah. You mean old timers? I used to have a guy that legitimately called Alzheimer's. He called it old timers.
No, we're big timers.
Right, that's different. But his vacuum cleaner has old timers. Old
Speaking of
disease.
Alzheimer's, if anyone's used SwiftKey smartphone keyboard,
Yeah.
iPhone users I don't think would be as inclined to use it. I don't think they would need to. But it's like marriage when you get a SwiftKey key, when you install SwiftKey keyboard, because it's like, it's a little rough at first. You're trying to get, your keyboard's getting to know you and your typing habits, and then everything's fucking great for a while. And then you're just making typos out of nowhere and nothing's changed. Your keyboard has fucking forgotten who you are and starts just assuming shit about what you're going to say next. And so you have to reset it and start over.
You trade it in for a new
some
version.
51st dates type shit.
Right.
As a side note, as I scroll through the news, Greg Connolly will also be on CNN tomorrow morning
Yeah.
during the 7 a.m. Eastern hour.
Oh, I miss him and his rosy cheeks.
Peppers. Yeah. Chuffridge Farm remembers abolishment. So back to you were talking about DIY. Absolutely. That's the thing that's funny about it, right? Is you can, all the stuff that we put in our vapes, right? As in not illegal THC cartridges, we put in stuff that's readily available everywhere. That's not regulated whatsoever. It's vegetable glycerin and food flavorings.
Diet supplements, workout supplements, not regulated at all. You just have to list what's in it. That's it.
Yeah. So,
What's his name?
I mean, Nick will be harder to get a hold of, maybe a little.
Was it John Oliver who brought it up on his show early? It was early in his show, I believe, when he talked about nicotine.
Yeah.
We talked about nicotine, and then also he talked about the diet pill industry and shit. I have to pee. I'll be.
He was just talking earlier about his initials here. Down below, he really liked R De La Ghetto, which I do find interesting. This was something that happened early on in the chat before we went live that I think Will just was talking about Russ House and the fact that he just discovered flavors and now it's going to be taken away, which is funny. But also, what's really weird, Will, is guess who I got a message from like 2 weeks ago? Freaking Russ House. I haven't talked to that guy in like 2 years, and just out of nowhere, I get this message saying, "Hey, I fell off the face of the earth for a while there, but I heard you released a mod, and I want to buy some of them for my shop or something." I was like, if I released a mod, I didn't know about it, so I don't know. Nice talking to you, but I don't know what you're talking about." So he came back later, and he's like, "Oh," he said, "My bad. I saw a guy that released a mod, and he said he looked just like you." And I was like, "Okay."
So it looks like these batteries are Sanyos, from what the pictures show. I can't look at the top part right now, but just some really old Sanyos.
You should send a picture. Just send a picture of that to Mooch and say, "Hey, what batteries are these?"
I put this in my vape, and all it did was spark.
It keeps smoking.
Yeah. Who the fuck uses all this space for 4,200 mAh? Yeah, it looks like a 18th. Yeah,
That's right. Well, my mod is so exclusive, even I don't have one. That's what I asked him. I was like, "Hey, what mod is it?" But I just asked him that because I didn't look. Maybe he's been hacked or something. I don't know. It happened. It happens to everybody else. Yeah, you really can't have one, Addy. Sorry, but I would totally give you one if I had one. Man. MMMMMM.
Welcome back.
So
Stop drinking that White Claw. You don't have to pee that much.
So long.
Yeah. Was it backed up to your kidneys? I have a funny story that happened to me a couple weeks ago that I forgot to talk about last week.
No.
So I have, and I don't have it on me because I sent it away. Remember my Gloom? I sent that away to be revamped because I used the bejesus out of that thing and it needed to be reconditioned. New battery contacts and that kind of thing. So I sent it away. But when I started using my Bliss, I have a while back, my refiller bottle stopped screwing into my 510 very reliably. So I kind of went back to taking the bottle out of my mod for refilling, right? So I did that a few times every day. And I was getting some leakies, like not like dumping leaks, but like my bottle would sometimes be moist, be a little feucht. And so I was getting into the habit of taking it out, drying it off, refilling it, putting it back in, right? And after a while, I was like, wait a minute, I need to just actually fix this instead of just dealing with it, right? So, I mean, the problem was, and I still have it here, the problem was the tube after being inserted and withdrawn out of the particular thing over and over again, it got a little stretched out as things happen to do. So I was refilling that like that for a while, and then once I fixed that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna remember the old jiggly one. I was gonna start using this again. I was like, okay, cool. Rebuilt my Addy the other day, and went to go, give it a little kickstart, right, of e-liquid. So I spun the lid off and then, turned it upside down. And unfortunately, I had forgotten that I had taken my lid and my nozzle off in order to refill the refiller. And I literally, with a full 120, just upended this all over my mod. There was like 30 mil, easy, everywhere. Just
dude,
everywhere.
That happened to a Raspberry 120 for me once upon a time. I lost half of it.
I was doing it. That
surprised you in the slightest.
And unfortunately, because this is a freehand, buttons on top, right? So it just went, bleh, and just went, just everywhere. I was like, crap! What the hell am I doing? Like grabbing for my vape towels and like trying to clean everything out.
I had a friend who was drunk. I didn't realize how drunk he was when he was walking around with a bottle of whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I was also drinking whiskey, right? I was like, V, as we called him. Victor was his name. V, I'm like, top me off.
Yeah.
I was tapped on my glass. You know what he does? Fucking smacks the neck of the bottle on my glass, breaks my glass because he was fucking wasted.
Yeah.
He breaks my glass.
Yeah.
Cuts my hand ever so slightly. I cut my hand right here. And he's pouring whiskey on top of it at the same time.
But that's smarted.
Dude, that fucking sucked.
Yeah, I bet.
I appreciate him disinfecting it and all, but he poured probably about half a glass worth before he realized what he just done.
So yeah, hot dog on a hallway. That's exactly right, Addy. That's exactly what the problem was. Which is, it's obviously funny. You're just sticking it, in and out of there a little bit, and at some point you stretch out your tube. It happens. It happens. So that was one silly thing that I did for sure. And what was the other thing I was going to mention? That was the juice dumping facepalm. I actually made notes for the first time in 20 shows. I actually made notes this week because I wanted to have the links for the Gottlieb tweets and that kind of thing. So I had to make notes. The other thing that I need to talk about is what I'm going to talk about, but right after I ask Foo, what you vaping on?
One sec, I was just talking to Rob in chat. He was talking about, he's like, he said, as a non-drinker, I can't stand being around tipsy people. I'm like, I feel the same as a drinker. Like when I'm when I work late on a Friday and they're just, sloppy people on the train or whatever. I hate that. But
Yes.
I see entertainment in it. I might post a snap or two. I might post some shit on Instagram because, life is entertainment.
Yeah.
Life is, theater when it comes to that shit. So, anyway, we actually didn't do What Are You Vaping last week.
No, he didn't. And I meant to.
That's fine. I mean, it's whatever. It's like every fourth or fifth show we forget.
So what are you vaping and what are you drinking?
It's the Hofbrau I was talking about earlier because this bottle was on my desk for last night and I forgot about this one.
Yeah, but now I got you big so they can see. Oh, it's got München on it. Hofbrau.
Munchausen's. Anyway, what am I vaping on? I got Snowdrift in the Jack Vapor 75. My Juul is sitting on the couch right now because that's what I was puffing on this morning. I haven't hit it since. So.
Taru.
Yeah, it's been hot as fuck. I didn't do a lot of leaving the house today, so maybe we wouldn't be BFFs today. Like the last few days, I haven't had my AC on. It's been nice, just rocking window fan. And then today, I shit you not, I was sitting down and I was off today, and I was watching Psych. And within a half hour, I remember looking at the thermometer on my dresser, and it said 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Right, a dry 80 is doable. Right, indoor. Half hour later, I look, it's 84. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Rip the window fan out, slam the window shut, and go turn the AC on.
84, dude, I just started sweating thinking about that. 84 inside's hot. Duro's making fun of my camera
What the fuck does that mean, Duro? Like, what the fuck? What does a Packy beer look like?
I don't know, but that beer is very German.
Tell me. I'm Louis C.K. asking about the bag of dicks. The onus is on you to explain to me what that means.
Duro's making fun of my transition. I'm sorry I forgot to switch scenes. Hashtag deal with it.
What the fuck does a Packy beer look like? I want to find that funny, but I'm confused.
All right, you done?
Yeah. Done.
Yeah, done. All right. So for me, this week it's been my Limelight Gloom with the RAM board inside. Inside of there is Railcracker. As always, get it today at bigglesworthlabs.com. No, I don't get a dime from that. I just like it. But inside of here, I am pleased to say, thanks to USPS's clusterfuck last week, I did not have it for the show, but this week I do. My RPG Royal Purple Gray billet boxes back up and running. Got a little GMK concave button, which I really like, an omen tip on top, and inside is abolishment. Get yours today at stashhelix.com. I do get a kickback from that, so deal with it. Inside of there though is a Zeta from Haku. Hooray! My Zeta is back in. So as many of you know, I did pre-alpha test the first version of this, and this is the first time I've laid hands on a retail version. I will talk about it in a little bit. I don't think I'm going to do it right now because I'm going to ask Sean what he's vaping on.
Same thing I always vape on, Pinky.
Trying to take over the world?
Nope. Masked. You're up.
I don't know, Sean. What are you always vaping on?
You're never on the show anymore. You can refresh people. I do like your hat, though. It's very svelte.
Because I do remember you in the former life being a Raspberry poser, but what are you vaping on now?
I'm trying to read articles. Abolishment and a Gloom and a Narca and an omen tip.
So let's go back to the old normal view. There we go. That I am confused, to be perfectly honest.
Confused with I'm vaping?
No, Brando said, Angsty, not to rush, but did you get the new deck for the billet box? What is the new deck for the billet box, Brando?
Weren't you talking about a deck upgrade because of a small percentage of whatever?
Yes, yeah, for sure. So I did mention that a couple of weeks ago offhand. I'm pretty sure I mentioned on the show. It's not an updated deck, if that's what you're talking about. It was just the positive post on the Zeta. So not only do I not have that in a place that I can show you because it's inside of the billet box, and because of the billet box, I can't show this to you. It would be a total cluster. Because it's in here. But I think I am going to try to shoot a review for this. I haven't shot a review in a really long time. But I think this is worth showing off because, well, for a few different reasons. One, I've been involved with it and trying to help as best I can for a lot of the process. And I'm so proud of what Steven's done here. I think I'd like to show it off to people. And also it's really, complicated is not the word. It's highly customizable. And I think if somebody that didn't have something like a video showing them what all of the pieces do, I think it might be slightly confusing. Now, that said, our friend, our man in the shed in Scotland, Mr. Todd shot a great review. So we could just show him that, or I could do it too, just to do it in a slightly different manner, just to add to the chorus, so to speak. I think it might be kind of fun. Okay, good. So that did answer your question. Okay, good. So just to catch you up on what he was referring to. So I think there's been 2 lists of the Zeta out that Haku has released. There have been, I think it was 6 people reported that they broke their positive, the positive section of the Addy. And I think it was just due to the fact that you're given a lot of mechanical advantage with that particular screw and clamp setup that he's set up there, because it works really, really well. And it actually might work a little too well. If you go a little ham on it, I think you probably could break it. I think that's probably what happened. Somebody got a little aggressive on probably a really thick coil and was able to break the positive part. But the really cool part about that is Steven, the guy who runs and owns Haku, he's like, okay, well, we're definitely sending you new ones. So he sent out those guys new ones. And then he started thinking, and this is all public information, by the way. He posted about it in the group. He said, that's not really the Haku way. He said, if these few people had this problem, it's possible that could happen to somebody else in the future. So why don't we just send new ones to everybody, even if you haven't had a problem? And then not only that, he's like, you know what else? We should redesign it so it's even beefier, so that won't happen again. And then we should send one of those out too, to everybody that may have a problem in the future. That's the kind of guy that Steven is. And that's amazing to me. You compare that to, I won't mention names just because I don't feel like getting all controversial like some people, but you compare that to most other Addy manufacturers, several of whom I could name right now, that release a product that is flawed in some way, that they redesign and then just turn around and sell it. Like, okay, you want the version 2 that's got this stuff fixed? Okay, $70. And Aku's just freaking giving them out because he wants people to be happy and he wants them to not smoke cigarettes. And I think that's freaking great. I love that guy.
I'm having a really hard time reading through some of this crap.
I don't know why.
How long has vaping been around? Long before our time, 12 years.
In the mainstream? Mainstream, maybe.
No, not the mainstream. Inception, 12, 13 years, give or take.
Maybe, yeah. I think probably 07, 08 is probably where it was pretty new.
About 12 years, 11, 12 years.
Yeah, because I tried it. I tried it in 08.
So did I.
I tried it like 08, 09.
Yeah.
So in 11 or 12 years, the past 11 or 12 years until a month ago, has any of you ever read about a death?
It's amazing, but we haven't.
Right? 11 or 12 years, not a single death.
No, there are a lot of people in vaping that are dead to me.
I expect it.
Touche.
Now, there's 6 of them.
Yeah.
I'm reading through these articles, and everyone says they have not identified the cause, but all reported including the use of e-cigarettes, and some patients have reported using cannabinoid products such as THC.
Yeah.
Not one mentions that in the last 11 years of nicotine vaping, no adverse health effects have been.
And you know what's crazy about that? Half of that was strictly Chinese shitty juices.
I know.
And that's the problem with the
The other half of that was really shitty, non-regulated American juices,
Right.
like Dr. Krimis.
Yeah.
Still not killing people.
When people were literally mixing in a fucking like laundry room
Right.
because that's how this industry started, right? So like reading about this guy named Adam who has lungs like a 70-year-old's now, like going through being like, well, if I knew vaping was like that, I wouldn't have done it. I just didn't know better. He even admitted to using THC eventually. But he's like, it's all the Juul. The Juul did it.
Yeah.
Took me to the hospital and it's the Juul. Like, this shit is hard to read. Like, this is some of the worst investigative journalism I've ever read in my life.
Yep.
Now, don't get me wrong.
But there's no investigative journalism. That's what I mean. It's like the agenda was set. They lashed fucking vaping to smoking. They classified it as a tobacco product, and the things played out. And then this shit happened with the THC carts. And you know what? I bet you the powers that be were jerking their dicks.
That's everything they needed. But like, that's the thing. So like, my boss, even talking to my boss is like, "Oh, you're gonna refute?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna refute." I said, "And here's the data." He goes, "So you're one of those guys like you don't want to know." I'm like, "No, I want to fucking know."
Absolutely want to know.
We said forever that we want to know. Like, if something happened, or this was a thing that came out from nicotine use, I would want to fucking know.
Right.
But given that these cases are people who have been vaping for less than a year and have moved to THC from what they can figure out yet, and we've been vaping for collectively over 9,000 years.
Yeah.
And have no negative health effects, like, I'm having a genuinely difficult time. Now, that said, we vape good shit.
We do vape good shit, but still, right?
Buy@eliquids.com.
Right. but even so, yes. So that the answer to your question is no. We haven't heard anybody dying, but Addie's right. 1,300 people today in the U.S. died. 1,300 people died from smoking cigarettes.
Oh, yes.
But
480,000 people a year
right.
die from smoking-related illness. 6 people in a month die from vaping THC, and the world's gonna fucking end.
Right. Yeah. But it's hot topic du jour, and everybody from The Verge to Slate and everybody else is gonna pick it up and run with it.
I've been angry about this shit for
Royal College of Physicians just called the president a dumb motherfucker. Link, please. Please post the link.
It would be entertaining.
It wasn't even him that decided.
Here's the link.
I just read your chat. I want to see the link, William.
So
go ahead.
You were Sean was saying you're having a hard time. You're having a hard time reading through things, and I think it was Vic that said he got real self-conscious because he thought you meant chat. You were reading through your articles.
Oh God, no! I'm having a hard time reading news articles about this shit.
Yeah.
Because like, I read enough to know what I needed to read, right? Like I read like one of the posts that got sent to me, and then like I went and read the actual details on it. I'm like, oh, okay, like THC, that makes sense. Let's move on. And I never actually bothered to like read the sensationalist media bullshit about it, because why? And then I literally was like sitting here and I was bored because I was sick, and then my kid got hurt today. And then I was at the doctor's office while she got her nose glued back shut. And then I got home and I was like, fuck, the world's burning down right now. I should pop on here.
Will's posting, "You're approved" every time he approves somebody that's getting messages held back.
Yeah, I'm not getting any of these questions.
Oh man.
I think he's just memeing at this point. I think he's been memeing for like the last half an hour, to be honest.
No, he's legit approving those people because they keep getting called out. Like even V-Dog just said coconuts kill people, and that was held back.
I just got a message from Ching Chong Wu, and he said that he heard me talking about the iPhones, and he's got a hidden video from within one of the factories of what the next prototypes are going to be.
All right, hold
You
on.
ready for this?
Yeah, let me get you. Let me get you over there. Hold on. All right.
I think they stole my idea, but anyways,
All
I
right,
talked
go.
about it here first. You're here first, folks. Like, what?
Ooh, I like that one. I like those ones.
Oh, dude, those are great. Can't get any better than that.
Look at all those cameras.
But again, it's not even appropriate to say vaping related deaths. It's THC related deaths.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a vaping related death.
I feel like everything just gets too easy for those that just want to pass whatever legislation.
Mm.
You know,
It's
all right, let's set this dude up. Like, out of everyone making this, now granted, this guy had almost 200 pounds of weed in his house and had 10 people working for him and had 20 G's laying around. Okay, so he could have been the source and the main distribution point for this shit that was, fucking people up. But it's like, if there was ever anyone wearing a tinfoil hat, like, this plays out perfect for any one conspiracy theory. You got your patsy that is getting arrested, that supposedly was the one doing everything.
Right.
It's getting the law passed, okay, because think of the children, and people are actually dying, and it leaves no room for people who are actually have benefited from vaping to say anything, because the other piece that they give them is they give them this and say, hey, here, do this. This might make a change.
This might help.
And give people hope.
Mm-hmm.
Get the Reynolds wrap out.
I just Googled vaping deaths 2018, and I'm trying to find some article from 2018 that talked about vaping killing somebody.
Well, it's not
It
there.
looks like there is one actually on the Daily Beast.
Well, didn't the nicotine, the
Oh,
concentrated
Daily Beast.
death happen in like 2016?
That's the Daily Beast. That's a reputable source. I wanna know more information about that article.
But this is from a fire when a mod blew up. So that's
Right.
not a vaping related.
Not really a vaping related death.
That's a fire related death.
Which could have been, it could have been a Note 9 or whatever, right? That
My county literally sent out a warning that said everyone should stop vaping because you'll die.
Well, pretty soon we're going to be seeing it on the warning signs on the highway.
Yeah.
Next to the Amber Alerts, it'll be a gray cloud alert.
Warning: large flat brim hat or alert.
I wonder if the government is sitting there going, okay, guys, we threw the chicken sandwich at them. That kept them busy for a little bit, and they're still invading Area 51. We made a fucking hurricane, and it fucking bounced around and backfired. Didn't do shit.
Like, wait.
All right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Let's take and just dump all the White Claw down the drain. Let's see if that does anything. Nothing. Fuck. All right. Set this dude up with some fucking, nasty weed, and let's start killing people. Will that do it?
Okay, first of all.
Oh my God, they're still invading.
Here's the problem. There's a flaw in your timeline. White Claw has not been poured down the sink yet, because if that happened, the White House would be on fire right now.
Probably
You know
literally.
this. You know this.
Anything
Every
you can
white
give
college
people.
girl at a big state school would rush.
Yeah, they're gonna rush Area 51.
That's gonna happen
Anyone
too at
doing
the
that?
same time.
No, they're not. They're not going to rush anything. They're going to go here and they're going to fill out their petition to bring White Claw back. Don't you know how things work? Come on.
I would sign that petition.
If she is stupid enough to do this, okay? If she's stupid enough to do that, she is going to be fucking stupid enough to fill this out.
She's just a huge Kawhi Leonard fan.
Yeah, whatever.
You never know. But all I'm saying is, I would sign a White Claw petition. I would not sign a vape petition.
I want to address something that I just saw a minute ago, and now I can't flip and find it.
But yeah, if you take away the mango jewel pods, then you have like an army of 17-year-olds. Let's
Right.
do it.
So Vic said a couple minutes ago, honest opinion, period. Do we think this is hype or is it the end? My opinion is we have a president that likes to talk like all presidents do. And he hasn't, it's not like he signed an executive order or anything. All he's done is tell the FDA to do something, right? But here's the thing, is the FDA has been posturing to do this very thing for years. So I don't think this is anything different. I think this is just
saves them a lot
news.
of work.
Hmm?
Trump, because the thing is, Trump could make executive orders on issues like this with FDA oversight. And the FDA is like, you're telling me you're going to save us like 3-4 years of work by doing this?
Right. So no, I honestly don't think this is anything different. I don't think it's good. I think these illegal THC cartridge doofuses accelerated this problem. They have helped to popularize and demonize vaping, legitimate vaping by people that are trying to do combustible tobacco harm reduction. Yes, I think they have done that, but I don't think it's not like the end of all. It's not like this is going to stop tomorrow. First of all, second of all, the other question was whether or not DIY is going to die in the States. I don't think so. I think that even if we're able, or the FDA is able to pass a bunch of laws and put thousands and thousands and thousands of Americans out of jobs, right? Let's just say for the moment that happens, then all this is going to go to the courts, and all of those tens of thousands or however many of those people that are out of jobs and out of business and stuff, they're going to not be quiet about it, right? There's a lot of them that are going to be rightfully pissed, and they're going to take it to court. And I think this is it's gonna stretch on for a long time, for sure.
May I present an alternative opinion?
Sure.
We also have a president in the White House where, as much as he likes the yap, 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 he's also not opposed to declaring a national emergency to get what he wants. And if this is the hot button item today, and this is what he wants, and we're already seeing it happen in 3 states with an outright ban of flavors before it goes to the courts.
Yeah.
I think in a weird way and realistically, and again, I'll be very interested to hear Alex's opinion in a couple weeks, but I think this is the end times.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying I don't think this is anything different.
I think it's going to take, I think it severely fast-tracked that problem.
Totally. I think that's what I said, right? I think it fast-tracked it. It fast-tracked it for sure, but I don't think it's anything new.
Do I think it's 30 days? No. Do I think it's by the end of the year? Probably.
Maybe.
I don't think DIY is really going to get hurt because I don't think they're going to go after raw nicotine or the flavorings themselves. I do, however, think the hundreds of thousands of people that are in business making flavored e-liquids and mods are going to suffer greatly.
Absolutely.
I think the number of vapors that exist, myself potentially included in this, is going to drop off significantly because fucking who wants to make their own e-liquid?
Right.
I don't.
Some people do, right? Absolutely, some people do. Do you?
It's a very small number in comparison to the total number of people who use this product for tobacco harm reduction.
Absolutely.
Especially from an ease of use perspective.
For sure.
So, all the wonderful parts of this go away. 30 days is probably a little bit too quick, even though that's what they're calling for. I think it's going to be closer to 90, maybe 120. But I do think this fast tracks it enough that we'll see the end times this year.
I don't know that that's the case, Vic, though. He said, imagine if this was where both sides come across the aisle.
That's not going to happen.
No, I don't think so. I think that this is right up in the alley of a lot of people that consider themselves big government sorts of people. They're down with it, right? Those are the people that are totally susceptible to the thing of the children argument. There's a lot of people that are on the other side of that are also susceptible to that argument as well, that don't normally like a lot of government, but they still are susceptible to that argument, and they don't care about what the science is. They care about what they read on HuffPo or Google News or whatever, right?
Every single article is referencing Juul and nicotine vaping as the cause of death.
Right.
It's demagoguery at its finest.
It is.
Like, you can't beat that machine.
And the bias in this case that they're playing on is the public is smoking.
Yep. So now all of a sudden people have died from vaping. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it's THC.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
not how it's being portrayed.
For sure, Vic. I know that's sort of my point. Those tend to be the primary ones that like the bigger government thing, but not all of them. And I'm certainly not pointing fingers. Right? That's people that are in government love government in general, right? I mean, that's why they're there.
It's always
right?
in business.
they love making rules for everybody else to follow, and that's just the way it is.
Now, where this gets hard and where this gets more difficult, and why I do think this is the end, like it or not, is because, and I don't care about your political affiliation one iota in this case, but there's not with the head of the Republican Party right now calling for it, the Democrats have been calling for it for a while. It's done.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's going to fight that. That's not going to be fought.
I also think that we're in a time period right now where
Oh, I see what you mean, Vic.
he has to give something up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he has to bring something. He has to bring somebody's head on a platter.
And if we're coming
Whether
into an
it-
election cycle and he can say that he saved kids with his track record of locking kids up,
That's not even the most significant thing he's going to bring up. You know what I mean? Like,
no, but it doesn't have to be significant. It just has to be
No.
moved.
what I'm saying is
It's
passionate.
it's going to be something that he can say, "Oh, we had bipartisan
the
support
list.
for this.
Right.
I brought everybody together, and I got everybody to agree to it, and I basically, and that's part of the problem is that it's easy pickings. It's perfect for what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So
Coming into an election, he brought everybody together. He saved the children.
Right.
Ignore the fact that he locked them into unhumane conditions in internment camps.
but it's also more of the Democrats have been calling for this. I listened. I did it.
Yeah.
If there's ever any fallout from this, if there's ever any fallback, he could easily say, "What do you want me to do?" All of you wanted me to do this, even people in my side of the aisle, and I did it. And now look, I did it, and now you're saying that more people are gonna die because people. You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't fucking matter,
So, Vic, I misunderstood you. I hear what you're saying now. You're saying that this is what it means by come together by banning these guys. Yeah, I get it. I misunderstood you.
I don't think they'll actually come together across the aisle for this. I just think that there will be enough unified support that Trump can stroke his ego and say that they came together across the aisle.
Right. But I think if we sign a petition, I'm sure it'll all get better. So that is...
in no offensive way whatsoever, advocates on Twitter aren't going to do jack shit in this situation.
No, probably not.
No.
This is a lot bigger than that sphere.
Hey, guess what? No reviewers are gonna do shit. No famous people on Twitter are gonna do
All
shit.
right, hold on. First off, would you really want most of the reviewers to do anything?
No, well, I mean, you have a lot of people that are like, "Hey, go watch his show. Go donate to the fund that they have set up." All this stuff. People,
Hmm?
if you haven't been around long enough, you don't know how this shit works.
donate.
It's just like with every other end.
The problem
Yeah.
is all it takes is an executive order or something of that nature. The same thing
Sure.
that happened in 3 states now, to ban it for a year while they continue to study to put 100,000 businesses under. And those businesses aren't coming back at the end of it. Even if we get flavor back, that shit's not coming back. That market is dead. It's finished. Like, I was always hoping that we would have enough time to work out our case.
Right.
But it seems like the solution to the problem now, and I think it's emboldened by the fact that 3 states have pulled off full-out flavor bans, is that we'll just ban them up front and then we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
And that's going to kill every business.
Later.
Yeah, that will literally kill all the businesses. So I don't want to sound defeatist, and I'm very curious to know what Kasa's plan is, and I'm very excited to have Alex come talk about it, but I'm feeling a little
I
defeatist.
kind of felt that way from the get-go. I just didn't expect it to come to a screeching halt so quickly.
I didn't either. I figured we still had at least another year.
I do think it's going to be tangled.
But
for a
I don't
long
think
time.
they expected it either. They found a golden opportunity to jump on
Oh,
this.
God,
shit
Oh, yeah,
with the
for sure.
THC deaths.
No, they jumped the hell on this thing as fast as.
Yeah. They were really happy. They're like, wow, We didn't have to wait.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and that's what I was saying before. I said this on Facebook before the show when John Martin posted the link initially today. I said, yeah, we've been almost fucked for a long time. That didn't start today with Trump running his mouth. We've been right there, like, oh, it might be okay, maybe, for a long time, and I think
it's nothing more than the final nail in the coffin, so to speak.
Maybe we'll see. I do think we've got longer than a couple of months. I do think we've got a while, and I do think that when they do cause this ban to come together, let's say all 50 states, say it becomes federal law, whatever. Yeah, that's the same thing. It's the same thing as who. I mean, really, who's been smoking weed this whole time? I mean. It's illegal, right? It's been illegal for a really long time, and nobody does it, right?
Depending on the state.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's just the last couple of years. I'm talking about since I've been alive, it's been illegal, like everywhere, with the exception of a couple places lately. But it's been.
You know what weed has? A much larger following and like political standing. That's what
they're not gonna. They're not. I don't think they're gonna go after the THC side of this one.
No, no, neither. I'm just saying that's what.
Will, but in a different way. It's going to get regulated in a different way because there are multinational corporations that are going to want to get in on this shit.
Right. So I will always be in the market to buy my ADVs. I'll always be in the market to buy them. I don't care where I get it. I don't care if I have to give a code word to my boy.
Worst case scenario for me, I was telling Yanks this before we went live, like, if it becomes too inconvenient for me, I can stop vaping tomorrow and I'll be okay and I'll be confident in myself to not buy a pack of smokes like in the next week, right? It's everyone else that's the concern, right?
Fresh is my fallback plan.
Absolutely.
Hey man, you want to open source our recipes and then let me buy from you?
Exactly. So I'll pay you a bitch load of money to make my ADVs.
Yo, 75 cents a mil, holla at your boy. It's illegal now.
We paying 5 pawns prices, baby.
Yo.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you pay 5 pawns prices for my juice that tastes like 5 prawns.
Hey.
So I think let me hang on, AC. I want to see if I can play this real quick. Oh, 1 second.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
gonna pause.
Yeah, hold on. I'll move you up. Pin. All right, you're up.
9/11.
9/11. So, Russell, I don't think it takes too much of a tinfoil hat to believe that those carts were planted.
All right, I'm ready.
It's possible. You're up.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
We have a problem in our country. It's a new problem. It's a problem that nobody really thought about too much a few years ago, and it's called vaping, especially vaping as it pertains to innocent children. And they're coming home and they're saying, Mom, I want to vape. And the parents don't know too much about it, and nobody knows too much about it, but they do know it's causing a lot of problems.
For how long?
And we're going to have to do something about it. One of the words and one of the reasons we're meeting today is to let you know that it's out there. And we want to have parents understand that we're studying it very carefully. It's, again, very new and potentially very bad. There have been deaths and there have been a lot of other problems. People think it's an easy solution to cigarettes, but it's turned out that it has its own difficulties.
Okay, first of all, hang on. Before you even say anything.
Okay.
Ahmed, can you explain to me why the photographers are wasting all of their shutter clicks on that? You know they have a rated life.
How to make pictures means that I can explain why they act like cunts. Look, I'm a photographer, not a miracle worker.
Didn't we just establish that this has been an ongoing debate /problem/thing for 12 years?
Well, but not really, because I mean, back then, frankly, back then, the only people that knew for example, '08 through probably 2011, ain't nobody knew about e-cigarettes.
Okay, fine.
Mhm.
But yes, no, I don't disagree with your general premise.
At minimum, 5 years. And even more minimum than that, fucking August 8th, whatever year the FDA regulations
Stop
passed.
cussing in chat. I'm not approving your shit. Just stop.
We'll approve everybody. He is an approver
No,
machine.
just stop, Will. Just give your hand a break. Just, you know?
Yeah, I just figured we'd take it right from the horse's mouth. So
But leave Sarah
That's-
Jessica
that's-
Parker out of this.
You know the shittiest part about it? You know, I spent the weekend in Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
mhm.
There were a bunch of other vapors there, and a bunch of other vapors were like, "Oh, what are you vaping on?" And I was like, "Do you have a drip tip?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then they go on their phones and they put in an order right there. So like, we got a lot of fucking orders this weekend because I was hanging out in Kentucky.
Is that
Oh.
right?
It's the last orders, am I right?
Yeah, now it's the last orders.
Get him hooked and then take it
Dude,
away.
one guy was like, he hit it. He literally pulled up his phone. He's like, "What's the website?" And he orders it.
No shit.
And then like
Yeah.
everybody that walks by that he knows, he goes, "Dude, you gotta try this guy's shit. It's the best vape shit I've ever had in my life. You should go order some now." It's like,
I like Kentucky all of a sudden. That's great.
right? I mean, there's also really good booze there, which probably helped.
That probably did not hurt. Oh boy. So that's what's going on. You have heard our lay opinions in this show, and I don't think
Hopefully we'll be able to provide much more educated ones in a few weeks.
yeah, that's right. So hopefully soon we'll have
We
some
know it was going to happen. It just sucks that it did.
yeah, and how
No.
it did. Now, and I do want to say that, Sean, you said that you wanted to offer a differing opinion earlier. You basically said the same thing I did. I think we're right on the same page.
It was different. Or I wasn't paying attention to you.
Yeah, no, and that's fine. I am just. It seems like we're on the same page, and I will be interested to see if Alex can counter that and provide some more educated.
The other upside of doing it in a couple weeks rather than doing it tonight, because I sent him a message. I'm like, "You want to pop in tonight?" I wasn't going to tell you guys. I was just going to surprise you.
Yeah.
And I was going to really fuck up your day because you don't have screens built for 5 people.
No, I don't.
But I was talking to him about it. He's like, they're in a board meeting right now. And I was like, "Yeah, you want to come on?" He goes, "I would, but this." I'm like, "How you holding up?" He goes, "Well, it feels good to finally be like, even though we're reacting to a thing, it feels good to finally be talking about what we're going to do and develop a plan rather than just reacting."
Yeah.
So like, it's probably better to have him on when there's a plan
Yes.
rather than now anyway.
For sure. I completely agree.
So no, we're not Alex's favorite anymore. He was on Grimm's show yesterday.
Oh, that's fine.
I forgot Grimm had a show.
I mean, people watch Graham's show.
Yeah, I forgot that Grimm had a show.
Yeah, but
I think
he's actually
329 because that was the number that this was filled out.
Oh boy. Well, you know what? I didn't talk about the Zeta. I feel like I've talked about it before. I think I will shoot a review because trying to do this on the show would be a mess. I think it'd be a mess. I think I just need to do a proper
Going on
review.
right now.
Maybe next week, if I can't do the review, maybe I'll get the old desk cam set up and we'll try to do it that way. So that way I can actually walk you through it because it really is an interesting piece of kit that I really enjoy, and I think you guys will too if you like Bill Box Addies anyway. And this just isn't the right. It's not the right day. It's been a long day. By the way, I did. If you're in the group and saw it, I actually streamed a game on Twitch last night, which was pretty entertaining.
His next career option because this one's about to go down.
I did this before Trump got involved. No,
Yeah.
I was just gonna play this game. It's Divinity Original Sin 2 because I've heard such good things about it, and I was like, you know what? While I learn it, why don't I just play? And cool that Aaron Gular was there, who's been doing some game streaming for quite a while. He was there, and we started talking. He's like, "Hey, you just want me to join?" I'm like, "All right," because it's a multiplayer turn-based RPG. And so he jumped in, and we farted around in the intro act for a little while, and it was pretty entertaining. I may actually do it again. I did have a good time, not only with the game but also with Aaron. So I may do that again. If you guys enjoyed it, then cool.
Make sure you click that subscribe button and donate, because our secondary income's going away.
Pull up the Patreon, patreon.com/foodneedcashmoney.com.
For different reasons now.
Yeah. No, it's for
Sorry,
different
it means my Wednesday night's free, so I can just start going on
Who
Grumpy.
really needs cash money? That's the new URL.
Oh.
Hey, I've already got another Wednesday night show I can show up on every week, so I'm good.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeet.
I'll make it.
you'll make it.
I'll weather this storm when we all die. I'll have to break in a whole new set of hosts, though. That's difficult.
That would be difficult. I'm sorry that you have to do that.
Yeah, that would be difficult.
All right, everybody. I really appreciate you guys coming out. We love you guys. You guys in the chat. You're what makes this whole thing still fun, even though vaping is dead. It's not dead yet.
Gloom and doom and doom and gloom.
It's not dead yet. It's okay. Don't fear. It'll be cool.
Don't fear. We the people is here.
fill
Fear
out
lot.
your petitions.
I was actually Facebook messaged a petition a little while ago.
I'm sure you were. All right, everybody. We will see you back here next week, precisely at 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time. But
Pending the vaping still exists then.
it won't. Pending the vaping still exists, and we'll probably be on just a bullshit and talk about video games and homeowner repairs and funny kids whacking each
Hey, when
other with
vaping,
bats.
when vaping dies, if this keeps going on, I might start showing up more.
Maybe.
All right. Good night.
Not everybody.
Night.
All right.